Maybe it is the drones. I don't know what's going on, but baby, I cannot sleep enough right now. And I know I'm not pregnant, thank you, Jesus, so I don't have to worry about that. That's not an issue, thank God. I don't know what's going on. You hear me? I said, what is this? I don't like being sleepy like this. I do not like being sleepy. I am super, super sleepy. Super. And it feels so dark in here. I don't know what's going on. I might. These lights don't last long, I tell you that. I think we just be on too long or something. Because we didn't went through so many of these dang lights. They be burning out. They be burning out. Hey, y'all. Hey. Ugh, I had to take me a nap, and I woke. Then my daughter called and woke me up. It's the same one every time, and she's like, "I'll call you back. You sleep." No, I'm up now. What's going on, child? What is going on? I might as well get up. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm probably gonna sleep real good tonight too. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so tired. Hey, Day. I don't know why I'm so tired. Hey, Wendy. Super tired. You hear me? I don't know why these ain't working right, but it is what it is. You hear me? Woo! Hey everybody. What y'all doing? Y'all wrapping gifts and getting ready for the holidays? Y'all got family members coming over? What is y'all doing? I see they talking about the Northeast is getting slammed with snow and stuff. And it's freezing outside too. Real cold. It went from summer to winter real quick, didn't it? It was just summer like 4 days ago. 60 degrees and now it's I don't even know what it is because my phone is dead. I've been looking for my phone for a minute. It was in the kitchen, dead. Philly is covered in snow, right? I saw that. Like the East Coast is crazy right now. I'm sad the package I sent with my baby's food has not showed up. I'm like, what is going on? It's 2 days late. That makes me sad because that's 2 months of work gone if they lose that package. But I'm just believing God that it's going to show up. I'm going to be real sad if it don't. Getting ready for bed, you got to work in the morning, that part. I just got out the bed. Not me, no gifts, just prayers will be given out. I know that's right. I sent my grandbabies dehydrated. Everybody got bags of food. My son got a box, and them girls got a bag of dehydrated food, baby. That's what I sent for Christmas. That's what I sent for the holidays. I won't say Christmas, but the holidays. That's what they got from me is dehydrated food. That took me 2 months to dehydrate it. Now it ain't there. It's supposed to be there 2 days ago. And it still ain't showed up. I'm gonna just chalk it up to a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Because that took me forever to do. That was dehydrated for like 6 weeks straight. Every day, all day, 24 hours a day. That dehydrator was going. So and packaging and all of that. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm just praying that God let it show up. Because everybody's sending packages. I'm just praying that it's delayed. Is what I'm thinking. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I am, because that was a lot of work. And vegetables ain't that cheap no more. Now they about to go probably back on sale because it's Christmas. Thank you. Um, I appreciate that, Antonio. Um, but yeah, what y'all doing? I know it's late. I don't know what's going on with my schedule right now. I'm not on all that work, right? Oh my God, please. Anyway, I'm just gonna try not to think about it. Anyway, what y'all doing? I ain't got no word from the Lord or nothing. I'm tired. I'm tired, shoot. I said, dang, this the longest job I ever had? Other than being a mother, this is the longest I have ever been employed in one place. Y'all know that? Who would have ever thought? The very place that I kept saying I wasn't coming to. Yeah, WOAU has been my longest job. I want y'all to know that. Count yourself special. Because I normally be like, the hell with this job. I'm about to find something else. There's a season 3 of Evo coming out at the end of the month. It's out. We didn't already watch 4. The best job a person can have. Thank you. You know we didn't already watch season 3 and 4, Jamila. They ain't playing it in Canada yet. Girl, we didn't watch the final season. They not playing it in Canada? Shut up, ugly. You sing a song. No. Raggedy Cell. No. You sing a song. No. Congratulations, too. Congratulations. It's funny. Anyway. So, the Northeast is getting slammed with snow. You can't get on Netflix. Only 2 seasons. It's on I'm proud of you. It's on what is it on, y'all? Paramount. Is it on Paramount? The other 2 seasons of Evil? Is that where it is? It is. Okay. Okay. So is it kind of crazy when y'all watch that now and you see how they been hiding stuff right in our face? Yeah, we didn't see them all. We watched the end of it. I'm mad they're not bringing no more back. It's crazy how all of that looks just like our medical community and everything else, don't it? Crazy, right? Do you see how they've been able to deceive us? Now look at this, and we talked about it before. You see how they've been able to deceive us? Especially the medical. Come on, Jen. Come on. Now you see why y'all probably used to think I was crazy. I'm like, man, I'm not running back and forth to the doctor. I know who they are. They witches. Not all of them, but most. They don't. Some of them don't even know they witches. That's crazy, right? Some of them don't even know that they witches. Yeah, they don't even know. They don't even know that they're giving people potions and spells because it's been they changed the name from potions and spells to medicine, to pharmaceuticals. Excuse me, love you too, Mr. Willie. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I think there's a lot of people that are realizing they are called pawns. They normalized it. They did. And it's so crazy because all the same things that used to happen to people that went to the witch to get a spell, that's all of our side effects on our medicine right now, which is mind blowing. You know? But I gotta not talk about that too much because they was on that this last time. So we just go. Did we talk about blood trend? I don't know. I don't know. Did we talk? I don't remember talking about blood transfusions. Wow, what happened? Was we, girl? We talk about so much stuff, baby. I don't even remember what we talked about in class earlier. It's bad. Heard about the shutdown. Yeah, they vetoed to stop it. They just did it tonight. 2/3. High pumpkin. 2/3 of the government voted to go ahead and push it through. So they already banged the gavel on it. I just saw that a little while ago. Can I show y'all something that make me real happy? Cause y'all my cousins and daughters and family. Can I show y'all something? Cause y'all shared in this journey with me. Can I show y'all something that make me proud? So y'all know I always been in the Ballhead Club. Y'all look at me. Y'all look at my hair. Ah, y'all see it? When I met y'all, it was about right here. No, matter of fact, it was barely below my shoulders, really. Y'all see it? It made me real happy. I've been a part of the Ballhead Club forever. Yeah, baby girl. I said, ooh, Dad, thank you. Yep. It made me excited. Thank you, girl. Cause Queen, They know. I've been a part of the post-roll ponytail club for my whole life. Only the people from Indy know what a post-roll ponytail is. You hear what I'm saying? But you know what's crazy? Let me say this to you. I am learning that your most beautiful state, for real, to me, and me and my daughter was just talking about this earlier. Think about, there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. I got eyebrows and lashes on right now. There's nothing wrong with it, to enhance. But think about how God feels when you cover up every single day and sculpt your features the way you want them. Shut up. Shut up. Think about that though. Think about how that makes him feel when we go and change what it is that he made. Right? He's always talking about us using the things that he gave us for reasons it's not used for. Right? Like our bodies, we use our bodies for a whole bunch of stuff that God don't want us using it for. Right? Let me ask y'all a question. If y'all knew what we found out about God pulling all the sin out of each one of your muscles, would you have used your muscles for those things? If you knew that your feet, your hands, your eyes, the hammer muscle in your ear and all of that was going to tell on you, would you have used it? Jennifer said, no, I wouldn't have. You said, nah, man, nah. Okay. So think about this. How do you think he's going to feel about all of the other things? Think about this. Even the women that grow their hair to cut it and sell it. Don't that remind y'all of the Job story with his wife? Do that remind y'all of the Job story with his wife? When we see these Indian women or whoever it is, Asian women growing their hair and then cutting it and selling it, right? That's exactly what Job's wife did. And then Lucifer heckled her for it. Now, I can understand selling it to make wigs for people that don't have hair, right? But how do you think that God is going to feel about us buying someone else's hair for vanity? Because you're a different person every time you put that different wig on. They even have names, and you act different. You walk different. You talk different when you put a different wig on. I know, baby, because I was a wig connoisseur, honey, and even my inches. honey, depending on the wig. If I had wet and wavy or that blonde, it depends on if I had a middle bust there. Baby, it just depends on who I was going to be that day. Now, I'm always going to be CERCA. You hear me? But baby, I might have a little twitch in my heel depending on the hair I put on that day. What if we are, and we talked about this before. Oh, yep, and the synthetics, my favorite, is Laticia. Hilarious. I think Laticia was around when in about 2001. I believe that was I'm going to have to find a picture and see if that was a Laticia. You can't tell me nothing with purple or red hair. I'm trying to tell you. Mine is blonde, girl. Blonde and chocolate brown, baby. I have to fight with all my might, baby, not to go on and give me a blonde and brown bust down. You understand me? With these locks. Because it'll probably be beautiful. I didn't seen it. Baby, I have to try my hardest. Do you hear me? That I know that is because you CERCA Junior, girl. I already know. We got the same skin color there and the shade. I know. I keep telling you, I will never forget you strutting down that highway. I mean the mountainside, baby, in them hills. I said, look a little CERCA. Come on. Y'all should have seen my baby hop out that car with her white boots on, baby. I said, hey, that's my little baby right there. Listen here, honey. Not in the Tennessee hills, honey. In heels, honey. You hear me? I said, oh yeah, that's me. See, I can't do it now because of my knee, but baby, I was so proud. Listen, you could not tell me I did not give birth to that baby the way I was smiling. She was walking down there. I said, yeah, that's me, baby. 25 too. Baby, listen, I went to swim parties with heels on, honey. I don't know what y'all doing. I'm not getting in the water. Do you see my shoes? I won't even be putting my feet in there. No, thank you. Baby, it had me, listen, smiling big and everything, girl. You couldn't have told me that when my daughter was strutting that. Listen. Ooh-wee. I was smiling and cheesing big. Do you hear me? Listen, baby, she strut down that hill. I said, mm-hmm. Did. And see what strutting down the hill get you? That's why I don't strut down the hills no more. Because after that, you be having to run after a toddler. Them calves going to be real strong in about 2 years. Don't worry about it. Yep. That hip muscle right there, the one you used to shake and pop with, yep, it's going to be real. It's going to be real strong. It's going to be real strong, baby. Them arms, honey, that you strong. Carrying that baby thing and the diaper bag and your purse and keys and every girl, you about to be stronger than you ever knew. You about Queasy hug, right? You about to be strong, girl. Stronger than you ever. You about to build muscles in places you didn't even know you had. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, carrying them dang baby carriers and stuff, baby. Listen here. And you're going to have to carry them for a long time. Not the baby, but the kid. Because at 7 years old, they still want you to pick them up. They still, girl, you is 10. Mom, can you just hold me up? Wait till they get 17 and be trying to sit in your lap and they bigger than you. Laugh out loud. That car seat is a doozy, baby. Listen, I already know. My girls, one of my daughters, not to put her business out there, I'm sure I was probably about 120. She might have been about 180, baby. And one day she had a bad day and she sat in my lap and I was like, okay, so we're just going to sit next to each other. Because they was all between 150 and about 180, 190. I'm about 125 pounds at this time. You can't sit in my lap no more. Mom's going to sit here and I'm going to hold you. You can lay your head in my lap if you want to. Right, I can sit in their lap. Right. I can't hold you like that no more. You're too big. No. And it never goes away. It never goes away. They will, baby. Now, that's why I be wishing me and my mama was cool. Because I haven't ever really had that experience. And I think that every young man and young woman should be able to, when they don't feel strong, when they don't feel like they know what's going on, I feel like every single person should be able to go and lay their head in a parent lap and be like, I just don't know what to do. And have their parent, you know what I'm saying? Just, that is a thing of when we was little, when we was upset, they would lay us on their lap and soothe us. But do you realize how many people have never had that experience, or they cannot do that? And sometimes it's disheartening to know that you cannot be coddled, not coddled, but soothed by your parent. You know what I'm saying? You can't be soothed by them, and it was when you need it. It's a really crazy thing, because my kids, even if we, nurturing, right, right, yeah, right. Right. And it's so funny. Me and my kids used to have the conversation about nature versus nurture all the time. It's your nature to be a parent, but you might not be a nurturing one. It's your nature to be a parent. God gave you the nature to parent, but that doesn't mean that you're a nurturer. And I think that a lot of people weren't nurtured as children, and you can see it in their behavior. Some people change it and they try to become nurturers, but baby, and y'all wonder why these kids be so angry by the time they get to 5th grade, because ain't nobody soothing them at home. Them parents is too worried about being on TikTok and talking to strangers before they sit down and have a conversation with their kids in real life. I would get up in my mama's bed every time I was pregnant and she waited on me hand and foot. That part. Well, I don't know about that. She didn't do that. I didn't go home until I was 6 months pregnant. I was living with my brother and my auntie because she was crazy. But she did one time. I think I told y'all about that. It broke my heart too. I cried so many tears, but I kept silent when I had went home because I almost lost my son when I was pregnant. And I was asleep, and I guess my stomach was all out on the couch. And she had been so mean to me my whole pregnancy. Kept telling me get an abortion, get a baby up for adoption. She was just horrible until I almost lost him. And then I just had this convo with my sister. Some are desperate for a man. They neglect their kids. Oh yeah, all day, all day, baby. I didn't seen it, and this is why I was single because niggas wanted me to. I'm not about to be neglecting my kid. You a whole grown man. And this is why I didn't have a lot of friends at a lot of times either. Because, girl, I'm not about to put you before my kids. You done lost your damn mind. I told y'all the stories. Girl, F them kids. No, F you. You grown. You expect me to sit here and spend all my time in your face and my kids keep coming up. Girl, I ain't about to do that. You better go find you a nigga to do it. I'm not putting you before my kids. And girl, chicks used to be mad, my homegirls. Girl, you were always at home with your kids. Where the hell I'm supposed to be? You need to be at home with your kids. That's why they come over here and be telling me they wish I was their mama. My mama don't talk to me. My mama mean. I can't tell my mama when her is mean to me. Just because your kids is fashionable, girl, don't mean that you take care of them. You could have boosters go stealing the clothes. That ain't nothing. But what is their character like? How do they treat people? Do they tease people? Do they help people? Listen, I don't care about none of that. I was not worried about my kids being fashionable. They used to be presentable. They was cute. You know what I'm saying? But not that over how you treat people and what you know and all of that. Y'all didn't hurt them. I tell and people for y'all didn't talk to them and they're grown. They're not kids. I can't force them to say nothing. Y'all didn't hurt them. All four of them come on here and say, nope, yep, that's it. That's a fact. This is a thing. Because again, our society is worried about what it looks like and not what it is. And that's a scary thing. They worried about people that look saved, whether they saved or not. They worried about, all these different things. I wasn't worried. I still don't be worried about what it looked like. Like I said, if you were to see me out, just out and about, you wouldn't think that this is what I do. You would not think that this is what I sit at home doing all day. I know that because people be like, wait a minute, what? Even before I was on TikTok, they're like, what do you do? I'm going to sit at home and read the Bible and teach the Bible all day. Really? You? Me. But if I was walking around with, save type clothes on and big old Jesus loves the world or whatever and walking around fake speaking in tongues and all of this, then people would assume that I have a relationship with God. But that's why God told you, don't be deceived by what you see. People put on costumes all day long. They put on masks all day long. You better know that that's exactly what it is and not what you see. Hey, Niqua, I'm not fooled by that. I'm not fooled by none of that because I want to know who you are as a person. And in these days, that's going to be so important. That's going to be so important, knowing the character of the people that you deal with. Hey, Miss Rhodes. It's going to be very important. Hey. It's going to be very, very, very important. I was going to say something, but I forgot. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I really didn't want nothing. I got on here to see what y'all was doing. We were supposed to finish class, but I'm going to be honest. I've been exhausted. I don't know if it's because I was on autopilot for the last 2 months or what, but baby, listen. Thank you, Pumpkin. It's a real thing, And it's sad because we've all been deceived at different times in our life. No, not the best mom in the world, girl. Absolutely not. Far from it. But one of the things that I will tell you, I don't care if your kids is teenagers, it's never too late to learn, If you get up and you ask God, not in frustration, but genuinely wanting him to tell you how to parent each and every last one of your kids, it doesn't matter what it looks like when they're growing up, you will benefit from it later. And I don't mean, oh, they're going to buy you whatever. I mean, you will get your flowers from other people about how amazing your children are. Do you hear me? Because you didn't raise them the way you wanted them raised. You raised them the way God wanted them raised. And that's a different thing. Because there were some things that I wanted to do that God wouldn't let me do. Because, baby, I was about to drop that hammer. You hear me? And he said, leave it alone. But then he would show me in the long run, had I have dropped the hammer that day, how detrimental it could have been for their whole life. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. You can probably think of at least 4 times in your life where somebody said something or did something to you and it changed the whole trajectory of your teen years and your, your adolescent years and then your early adult years. And it probably took you 10 to 15 years after that to really just let it go. There are people that their teachers have told them, you ain't never gonna be nothing, and it stuck with them in their head. So one moment in time can change the whole trajectory of your life and how you move, how you view yourself. And that's why it's important that we don't only just want to see people in the way we see them. We have to look at them the way that God sees them. Because who you think is somebody might not be nothing, but God might think they're amazing. God might have huge plans for others, just like me. I'm trying to. People kept trying to push me down under their feet. I didn't worry about it. It was like a Laban situation. I told y'all, I done been through the Laban situation 1,000 times. You said Kairos moments. Listen, Kairos moments. This is the thing. Like, it's a real thing of just think if Jacob would have had a different view when Laban was doing him dirty. It could have turned him into a very vengeful person. He could have been horrible. He could have been on some funny stuff. It could have made him be a thief. If he didn't have the mind of God, it wouldn't have worked out the same way. But because he wasn't vengeful, because he was honest, because he did what he was supposed to do, God blessed him in the end. And I really do feel like that. I feel like that about Joseph too. Even David. He was the runt of the litter. All the other brothers was fine. And you hear me? When they was described, I said, ooh, I know he was fine. I know he would. You hear me? Woo! They said the one was tall, he had broad shoulders and all of this. And God chose David, the stinky boy. Because he smelled like sheep. He was dirty. He was out there in the stinking. Just as smelly as he wanted to be. Smell like animals, and they like, yeah, this the king? Do you see this nigga feet? He got dirt all on his... Well, this one all oiled up and nice looking. He looked like a king. He said, yeah, he looked like one. He looked like he could be a king. He looked like he could be a king. All them brothers he went down, they all looked the part. But he said the heart ain't there. It don't matter what they look like. They don't have the heart of a king. They have the appearance of a king, the appearance of a leader. But what they gonna need, that 10 toes down YN energy, they don't have it. To be able to stand in another king face and say, nigga, I said get up out of here. And I'm not playing with you. And by 12 o'clock, you better have what I'm telling you. You better push him back, nigga, or we coming to see you. Heart of a king. I ain't gonna disrespect you. We gonna do this cool. You hear me? But I'm telling you right now, nigga, I'm bringing that hammer if you don't do what I said. They might have been too pretty to be trying to go to war. They might have been a pushover. God needs somebody with some backbone. If he say go in there and slay everything, if he say go in there and slay everything, you gonna need to go to the armory and get your tools. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready when God say it's time to go to war. You gotta be ready. And if you ain't got tools and you too cute and your nails is done, well, I got the tools to obey. I got the tools to do what I'm supposed to do with it. If he say cut the tree down, I got the axe. If he say I don't want nothing in that line going no further than today, I got what I need. You understand? That's the difference between what looked like a soldier and what really is a soldier. He ain't got the tools. He looked like it, but he ain't about that life for real. Them brothers was fine and they look good on the throne, baby. But when it came down to throwing down and doing what God said do, they didn't have a heart. They didn't have the tools. They didn't have the strategy. You can't protect God's people without YN energy, honey. It won't happen. It ain't gonna work. This thing do right here what it wants to. I got to be very careful with that. You said you've been telling us about the sea and the aliens for years, so I believe you. Yeah. Ain't that crazy how all that is just coming back just now? God been telling us. And now the world knows. It's great, right? To know it before everybody else does. That's why I won't go back to the other life. Because he be telling us everything before it happened. I'll be so happy about it. In my early 20s, God had me spiritually see that two women in the church were different. One man appointment and the other heart. Yeah, he showed the presence. And they normally treat the ones that really got it real, real bad. The ones that really got the anointing, the ones that really can hear from God and ain't taking somebody else's stuff and using it for themselves, them the ones that get treated bad in the church. The ones that can read, the real seers, the real prophets, the real apostles, oh yeah, they get treated real bad in church. I know for a fact. They don't want to hear a word from them, and the reason they don't want to hear a word from them is because it be exposing what's going on. Listen, yep, I think it's funny how everyone looked at you crazy, but it's in the news now. So imagine, even talking about the books. I told you I used to go to my pastor friends and all of my pastor family members, and my brothers are ordained ministers. My mom was an ordained minister. I told y'all my grandma, my daddy, all these folks is ordained ministers. Baby, they said I was in a reprobate mind. They was telling it. There's people in my family that won't even answer. Like my brother, my niece's mom. We've been like this since I was like 11 years old. Baby, she won't even answer the phone. I just tried to call her recently. Now she'll answer for my mom. She'll answer for my brother. She'll answer for other people in our family. And me and her was close. But once I started reading lost books, baby, and they pastors didn't agree, baby, when I say they cut me off completely, don't even answer the phone for me, I said, oh, okay. So if I only believe in the 66, if I only say what y'all all been hearing that it's supposed to be so prophetic and everybody sound like tape recorders, then y'all listen. Oh, okay, well, that don't got nothing to do with me. My message wasn't for them. My message was for the world. You know what's crazy? God sent me out into the world when I was 11 years old, so it makes sense. My family didn't receive me then, and they don't receive me now. I ain't sad about it. Because guess what? We ready. It just blows me that the people that used to teach me the word, baby, they won't hear nothing. I broke my shirt today, too. Didn't I tell you I'm rough on stuff? I popped my button off trying to take this off instead of unbuttoning it. Like my mama would have told me. I snatched my arm out and popped, so I'm about to have to stitch my button back. You see, it's got 3. Real sad about that. I said, girl, you just be tearing up everything. I might be a boy on the inside and don't know it. I think I'm a real nigga on the inside. I really do. Like, I be breaking stuff like, God dang, is this? How you tear up the shirt? Goodness gracious, they should have stitched the button on harder or something. They didn't put the button on tight enough. That's what I'm going to blame it on. The hell? Miss Rose, girl, I just got the damn shirt. Now, I got it, but last year, I only wore it like 4 times, and I didn't tow it up. Ugh, goodness. I got these on Amazon. They got all the colors. And they warm, too. They are really warm. I just didn't feel like wearing my robe. Sometimes it be too much. But anyway, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. Like I said, just watching the news and seeing everything, everybody talking about attacks and all of this stuff, it feels good to know that all the people that called you crazy was wrong. All the people that told me God was not using me to tell people what was coming and I was speaking out of my own heart and all of this stuff, they've been proven wrong. And I know it be hurting their heart when they be seeing y'all post clips of me on other stuff because they got it personally. They came and sat down in my house, or we talked on the phone, or I've known them for years. And then, so I know they be feeling weird. I would. If I called a person crazy for 10, 15 years, called them a false prophet, said all of that, and then every single conversation that I had with them is on the news, I would feel weird too. I would feel real crazy to be a fly on the wall when they realized they turned their back on you who was telling the truth. Well, the Bible said, though, I wasn't going to be accepted, and that's the truth. The crazy thing is this, though. I would rather be not accepted by this whole entire world and called crazy if God called me his friend. If God called me his daughter and he say I'm his, I don't care about nobody else. I don't care. If he chooses to tell me his secret decades ahead of time, baby, I do not care. He told me what was going to be going on in 2024 in 1995. He had a freaking angel come and get on a bus with me when I ran away from my mama's house. Okay? And nobody else seen this man, but I still had the book when I got off the bus and read the whole thing in less than 24 hours. No more than 2 days. I read that whole book. I was really a reader then. Now my eyes are a little bad. How is it that the book that I'm showing y'all now, that I read at 15, that a random man gave me, that nobody else saw on the bus, and now everybody is talking about these angel sightings and this, that, and the other. And could you imagine your 15-year-old running away and coming back and telling you this story of how they got this book? And it was a man, it was a man on the bus that gave me this book that nobody else saw. My mama was like, girl, okay. I said, I'm telling you, nobody else saw him. Right. Then she threw the book away. Because it had 666 on the front of it. She swore I said, did you even read the front of it? It said New World Order and the mark of the beast. Something we need. She threw it in the trash. She threw it away. And then I went back and bought it when I was 21, right before 9/11. Right before 9/11, I bought it again. Because I was telling one of my cousins about it, who's now a pastor. Telling one of my cousins about it. And then the part that we read about the September 11th, 1991, when the Bush said he was going to do the New World Order, right after that, 9/11 happened. But I had already told him the dream I had about what I told y'all the dream I had, like in March, April. I had a dream, and I kept screaming out my mouth, war is coming. War is coming. In a dream, I'm army crawling, and I'm at a concert. I had never been to a concert at this point in time. I didn't go to my first concert until I was 25. So I'm at a concert that I've never been to before. Never been. I'm 21. And I'm saying, war is coming. War is coming. And I start telling all my cousins, y'all, we need to stock up on food. America about to go to war. This is in April. 5 months later, 9/11, we was at war. And all my cousins were like, that's crazy. I said, I told y'all about my dream. And guess what? I had already been stacking my food and stuff. And I was on food stamps too. That's when you could get 2 carts of food for under $100 and some dollars. Baby, listen, I have been stocking up on canned goods, water. All my family laughed at me. And then we was at war. And they like, oh, cuz, that's crazy. You see the news? I said, the war I told y'all we was going to have 5 months ago? Yeah, I did. And that's not being cocky. It's like, why y'all got to wait till the news say it to believe me? And if you've been here more than 6 months, do y'all see it? There's things that we talked about almost 3 years ago that are all happening right now. And the only reason that people believe it is because everybody else is talking about it. Because it's on the news and it's on social media, and all of a sudden all of this stuff is coming out. But God thought enough of us to tell us before the news knew about it. Before the masses knew about it. That means God wanted us to know his secrets. You said, I guess we need to do something instead of letting things happen. Do what? Do something is get ready for what he said is coming. You can't stop it. The reason that he tells you early is so you can be prepared for it. You can't stop what's going to happen. It's in his plan. But you can prepare for what he said is coming, and that is the provision of God. That's the provision of God. The provision of God is, I'm going to tell you that the enemy is coming. I'm not even telling you that I'm not going to let you defeat him, but I need you to get up and get ready. God told us 3 years ago about the attacks on America, and now they're talking about it, and now we have drones and all of this stuff. So I just be wanting people to see that God loves us enough to tell us his secrets, and I'm grateful for it. He's sharing the knowledge of what's coming. My people will perish for the lack of knowledge. Best listen. That's why I ain't arguing with nobody. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm getting my stuff. What do that have to do with me? And it's not a coincidence they putting out all these movies about nuclear war and what do you call it? Like leave the world behind type movies. They not putting them movies out for nothing. Just like they wasn't putting the dehydrated food out 3 years ago for nothing. They knew what they was about to do. Who will agree? Anybody agree that they knew what they was about to do? They knew it because they started putting disaster food out 3 years ago. 3. And now all of the disasters have happened. Have they not? Why was Sam's and Costco selling survival stuff in 2022 and the disasters didn't start happening until the end of 2022, beginning of 2023? Because they knew what was coming. They knew. And they said the people that's paying attention gonna see it. The people that ain't won't. They planned it. And we was paying attention. We was going in the same stores as everybody else. Was we not? But we was paying attention to what wasn't normally there and not just seeing what we wanted to see. Y'all came and told me that they had stuff in Walgreens and everything. With the signs. The radiation signs and all of that stuff or whatever. And do y'all see they talking about that the radiation levels, we talked about it. They talking about the radiation levels is going up. Everyone was warned, but only some people paid attention. That part. Y'all seen it? They talking about the raised levels of radiation and stuff or whatever and different chemicals in the air. And people watched us put the stuff in our carts and didn't do nothing, Miss Michelle. Didn't do nothing. That's okay. We ain't worried about it this one. It makes me sad to think about, but what can you do? What can you do? Even for Keish to come in, I think it was Keish. I think it was one of our Keishas came in and said that her family member called and was asking about food and stuff. Projected action for the limited info they received so that they can say they did what they could. Come on. We talked about it, didn't we, Mari? We talked about it. They gonna say we put it out. We put it out. When did you put it out? We didn't see it. Oh, we put it out 3 years ago because we felt like something was coming. It's been in the store since March of 2022. I remember when my friend called me from Arizona. She said, "Girl, while I walked in Walmart, you was telling me about that food." She said, both aisles in this in Arizona. She's out East Valley. Both aisles on one side, like in one section, she said it's all the way to the ceiling, girl. They got everything in here. She said, I've been coming to this Walmart forever. I have not ever seen this. This was in 22. The end of 22, when she went to Walmart, that's what was in the Walmart in Arizona where she was. She said both, like you don't walk down a Walmart aisle, you know it be all kind of stuff. She said both sides, all the way down, all the way up to the top. It was at the back of the store. She said, and she called me and said, "Look at all of this." I said, "Oh my God." You said they sure did. Costco has stacks of emergency water straws. They sure did. You said yes. Someone said their drones trying to detect radiation. No, not those. Right. I know they looking for that thing, but other people have detected it just like more radiation than should be. Didn't we talk about it? We sure did. We sure did. Yep. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's a different feel right now. I told God today. I said, "You really doing this? You really doing it? Like it's really happening? Like no more like church service, baby, when the Antichrist come. No, it's right here. Like he's here. Like that's crazy. It's mind blowing that we are living in this time when one man is gonna rule everything. You hear me? Can y'all imagine that? One person. He talks about a king that's going to betray all the other leaders. Y'all, when I say I be writing notes, look at this. Is this right? Is that backwards? It is. Okay. Put your shoes on before you hit your feet on this thing. So look. Y'all see? My handwriting scratched. 2019, this is what I was studying. Right? Iran. It says I read this, went outside, clicked on the news, and it was on the news. So I read this in my house. I tell you what time. Went outside to get my meds in, came back in, clicked on my phone, and it was on the news. Okay, so look at this. I read this in 22. So when I know y'all, It says 7 conspirators at a banquet shall make their iron glisten against 3 out of a ship. One shall carry the 2 fleets to the great one. When in the promenade, the last one shall shoot him in the forehead. It says at a banquet, a conspiracy of 7 shall succeed against 3. Anybody know what they say about the Antichrist? Didn't they say he gonna get a head wound, but it's gonna be healed? Huh? And it's supposed to be 10 kings or 10 kingdoms and 7 kings. Right? Sorry, I don't let nobody in my life. Okay, here we go. Go back to this other one. It said a 7-month war of tremendous and destructive force, such as the world has never seen, shall terrify mankind. Let's go back through here and read. It says two great brothers shall be driven from Spain. The elder of them shall become the Pyrenean shall be overcome under the Pyrenean mountains, bloody sea, Rhone and bloody Geneva of Germany, Narbonne and the land of Agath contaminated. It said the 2 great brothers in crime, Nazism and fascism, will be driven from Spain, but not before a great struggle takes place near the border of France. Interesting. I'm looking for here it is. It says near Linterine, enclosed with farms, Chivas will drive the plot for the eagle. The elected dismissed, he and his men shut up within Turin, the bride, and carried away. And I was saying, is this Trump, which is real crazy. It says the American eagle and the French cock shall be in a united campaign against the Italians and Hungarians, and the Italian armies shall be in great distress because of a new and punishing weapon used against them. This say 2014. It said the mention of places in Switzerland, France, Germany, and the word lion taken as meaning Great Britain. We believe that these things are in a connection with the phrases 7th million and fall dead, referring to the world wars and their casualties. It says I read this and then my phone dinged and it was about the Britain's Parliament 9/24/2014. So when I tell y'all God would tell me to go pick up a book, read. Now y'all see I only read this part. So I read it, my phone pinged, and exactly what I was reading about in this pinged my phone at the same time I was reading it. This is talking about Britain's Parliament and what's going to go on with them. And then at that very moment, at 5:54 a.m., my phone pinged while I was reading it. And I looked at it and it was talking about the parliament. This is how God does me. He'll tell me to come in here and get a book, read something. It might be a book I never picked up. Go to a page 75. I read page 75, get off, go have me some meds or something, come back and look at my phone and it's on the news. And he's been doing that with me for years. He'll have, just like our book. He had me read that when I was 15 and so many things out of there have happened. Nothing like a coincidence. You're right. Yeah, there's no such thing as coincidence, right? I mean, look how many things we've read, y'all. Look how many things we've studied, and then as soon as we study it, it's on the news. Y'all getting a taste of what he do to me and been doing. It ain't nothing new. He been doing it like that. But that's why I tell y'all, when y'all reading, you can put a note now, unless it's one of your real nice books. But if it's one of your study books, when you read it, thank you. When you read it, time and date when you read it. It's very important. Not just your journals. Y'all done seen all my books. I date when I read it because then I'll know when I'm studying it from when it happened. Like how long it took to happen. You know what I mean? So I can go back and show proof. Nah, God already told me about this. He told me on this day to study all of these things. So you was calling me crazy, but God told me what was coming. You hear me? So it don't matter if you believe me because you wasn't there when I studied it. That's why I be like, take it or leave it. I don't really care no more. I ain't about to argue with nobody about what God tells me because he's not been proven wrong in my life. I can't say what he do for nobody else. But in my life, when he tell me something, it means something. And I listen now. I didn't always listen. You know? But that's why I be trying to tell y'all, please time and date everything. It means something. It really do. The time and date. If God said everything has an appointed time, why are we not recording the time? The time that God told us a word from him. The time we got an unction about something. That's why I said if you can keep a small journal with you, it ain't got to be nothing big and thick. But if God speak a word to you, you need to write it down at the time. So if you go and tell somebody to be a witness, hey, I was feeling like this. I don't know why I wrote this word down, blah, 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 blah. And then something happened. That also shows another person, one, that you hear from God. So you know what that makes them do? They start asking God questions and trying to get answers. And then God starts to answer them. And so then they make a note and they say, no, look, this is what time I was thinking about this, or I feel like God said this to me. And then 2 days later, this happened. It's a real thing that God warns us, y'all. He do. And I don't know how many times I've said that to y'all. Y'all probably get tired of hearing it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You hear me? It is the truth. And it's scary that, I don't know. Like I said, it's amazing to me. I was talking about that earlier. The lady that said she ain't even a Christian. She don't believe in organized religion. She said, but we living in the days of revelation. This lady ain't even a spiritual person. And she said, I don't know if you know it, but baby, we is living in the days of the tribulation. Yeah, I did. But this is the thing. Y'all, we already know who they worship. Okay. I'm going to run to the restroom after this, though. Anybody seen this book before? The invaluable experience and knowledge of knowing how God talked to you will be so important for now. And when we fully transition into the madness, would hate to be one of those people still trying to learn his voice. Come on, Mari. You see what that say? Who's that talking about? What's that say? This is believed to be the origin of hanging bulbs and ornaments from the Christmas tree. Nineveh, 7th century. But who they talking about? Asher Bonaparte and his wife resting under a vine. Oh. Oh. You see it? Oh. What's it say here? Let's see. It says, according to Genesis 10:8, Cush begot Nimrod. Cush was the son of Ham who settled in Africa. Cush, as a son of Ham, was Hermes or Mercury. Hello? You heard that? I'm going to read that again. It says, Cush, as the son of Ham, was Hermes or Mercury. For Hermes is just an Egyptian synonym for the son of Ham. Now, Hermes was the great original prophet of idolatry, for he was recognized by the pagans as the author of their religious rites and the interpreter of the gods. Cush was the founder of the Cushites, or better known as the Ethiopians. Now, Nimrod, as the son of Cush, was black, in other words, was a Negro. Can an Ethiopian change his skin? Is in the original? Can a Cushite do so? Bigotry was just as active among the pagans as it is among Christians today. I'm trying to get to blah blah blah. His birthday. We just seen it. I just missed it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh. Okay, here we go. It says, let's go. Give me 1 second, y'all. It says Semiramis gained glory from her dead and deified husband. And in the course of time, both of them, under the names Rhea and Nin, and goddess mother and son, were worshipped with an enthusiasm that was incredible, and their images were everywhere set up and adored. Whenever the Negro aspect of Nimrod was found, an obstacle was found. Okay, whenever the Negro aspect of Nimrod was found, an obstacle to his worship, this was very easily obviated. Excuse me. According to the Chaldean doctrine of the transmigration of souls and all the attributes, and all that was needful was just to teach that Ninus had reappeared in the person of a posthumous son, and of a fair complexion, supernaturally born by his widowed wife after the father had gone to glory. The son, thus worshipped in his mother's arms, was looked upon. I need my dang light. There we go. Nigga can't see. This son thus was worshipped in his mother's arms, was looked upon as invested with all the attributes and called by almost all the names of the promised Messiah. As Christ in the Old Testament was Adonai, Lord, the Lord, so Tammuz was called Adon or Adonis. Interesting. Ain't that Drake baby name? Under the name of Mithras, he was worshipped as a mediator. As a mediator and head of the covenant of grace, he was styled Baal-berith, the Lord of the covenant. Interesting. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard it? Y'all heard that? And if you look, I'm trying to find the... Come on. Here we go. Okay. Can we read the stuff of Catholicism? Y'all got a few minutes? Let me run to the restroom, and then we're going to read the stuff that was Babylonian and see how Catholicism, which we have catechisms and all of that good stuff in here. Let's get that out while we shan't we? Where are you, book? Where's our catechisms book, y'all? What we do with it? What the? Here. Where's our catechism? Where is our book at? Hold on. You know why? Because people keep on sending me stuff and I can't find nothing in here. Nothing. It's got to be on this side then. It ain't over here. I thought it was on this side. That's ridiculous. I don't know where my books is no more. Really? Oh, there it is. Okay, it was on the wrong side. Where's my damn book at? Y'all are to blame for that. Y'all. So we got this. This is our Catholic prayers book. Right? We got this. And you see what it say. Revised by decree of the Second Vatican. What is that? Ecumenical. Is that I said it right? Council. Published by authority Pope the 4th, I guess it is. You see it? So we got the string. Oh, I didn't toe it up. Moving on. So these is all their prayers and their rituals, their rites, right? And a lot of this, if you don't know what you're looking at, are chants, basically, incantations, right? I don't know if I ever showed y'all this book. You said The Subtle Seduction of the World and Church. The Occult Invasion, right? So, yeah, he is. And then we got our catechisms, right? And that's all explained. Because, see, this is the thing. If you don't know that they got you worshiping the devil, well, I miss my kids. Queen, are you here? This is the birthday card I got. Oh, Jesus. Do you see it? Why are they so petty? She said, happy birthday, Mom. I love you, and I'm glad you're getting old, and I get to watch you shrink. Happy birthday, Mom. It's been a nice 14 years having you as a mother. I know that I don't always make it easy, but you do a really good job at making sure that I have what I need. I love you a lot, and I hope that you have a good day, Fatty. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you, and I hope you enjoy your days. To many more. P.S. Your gift for me is coming shortly. That's when she brought me my iPod. She sure did, because they was mad I didn't have no Apple device. I love my kids. But twin, y'all already know who said what. Y'all already know the one that said she was waiting on me to shrink is the one that act just like Queen. I don't care if it's my birthday, baby. She don't care about none of that. Do you hear me? She gonna get one out. That's the one that came in here and said damn the other day because she just able to say it now. She ain't gonna change. Even in my birthday card, you already know she gonna have something smart to say. Do you hear me? I can't wait to watch you shrink. That's not nice. Patty tail. Listen. Get y'all nieces. Hold on. Raggedy Silk. Can't wait to watch you shrink. Raggedy. Sorry, y'all. That dang coffee and water. Thank God my bladder work, you know? Thank God my bladder work. It don't have to, but it do. Thank you, Jesus. All right. So, it's so funny because they're always talking about the mysteries. Always talking about the mystery schools and the mystery this and that, which is crazy, right? Okay, so look, it says when we have seen it, we have seen that it was the Roman Catholic Church as foretold who changed the Sabbath of the Lord to the pagan day of Sunday. We have also seen a call from Jesus to restore it. Now let us review and compare the doctrines of Baal worship and compare them to the doctrines of the Roman Catholic Church. Are you guys ready? Y'all ready? I told y'all they was the devil. If you look at them, you can literally see the evil in their eyes. And folks had a nerve to call them holy and be bound to them. It's nuts. And they are the most evil people on the planet, for real. Worship all kind of gods. They do every single thing that God said don't do. How many statues do they bow down in front of? The Pope gets the praise that Jesus is supposed to get. God said you ain't supposed to have no hewn statues. That's all the Catholic Church is filled with. Miniature ones, big ones, little ones, massive ones on the top of churches. They do every single thing. Abuse kids, everything. People are blinded by all the gold and the beautiful churches. God talked about that, but it's the synagogue of Satan. For real. Yes. In all the scary movies, the devil be right there in the church. The vampires, the people that drink blood, all of it. The people, the witches and warlocks be right there with the popes. Period. And we about to find out why. Well, we know why, but here we go. So, worship of Baal, it said the nativity of the sun, the birth of Tammuz, December 25th. We know that Jesus was born sometime in the spring, right? Between, oh, sorry. Okay. So it says the Nativity of Jesus, Christmas, December 25th. This is Catholicism. So Tammuz was, and we know this because we've studied these things before. We've studied them. Word the better you will know. Oh, okay. The Midsummer Festival, held June 24th for Baal worship. The Nativity of St. John, held June 24th. Okay? So Baal worship, they do the Midsummer Festival. Catholicism, on the same day, they worship St. John. Did God ever tell us that we were supposed to worship the disciples? Huh? Okay. The Assumption of Semiramis, who became the mother goddess. The Assumption of Mary, who became the mother of God. Cakes dedicated to the goddess with a T drawn on it. That's Baal worship. Hot cross buns with the cross drawn on it. When does the Catholic Church have hot cross buns? Or when is the thing with the hot bread with the cross on them? Whoever knew they would hot cross buns. Y'all, they had us singing a song, and it's dedicated to Nimrod and his mama. See how they just weave it right on in there? They're teaching us witchcraft as a child. They eat it. They do it at Easter. So they do hot cross buns at Easter when they worship in Ishtar. That's crazy because they taught us how to play the song in elementary school on the recorder. Sure did. That was the first song I remember playing. See how they run. Here we go. 40 days of fasting for Tammuz and 40 days of Lent. And that's in reference to Jeremiah 44 and 17. Hello? Wow, Publix makes those at a certain time of year. I used to make them at the warehouse. Wow. Are you serious? Not the grocery stores got you by. Let's go. I told y'all. That's why I be trying to tell people, listen. You said, dang, everything is a lie. Come on. It says the festival of Easter, Ezekiel 8:16, the festival of Easter, Ishtar. The resurrection of Tammuz at Easter and the procession of graven images during the Holy Week. The procession of graven images of Jesus and Mary and Peter during Holy Week. Graven images. Here we go. Veneration of graven images of Baal, Ishtar, and Tammuz, and lesser gods in heavens. The veneration of graven images of Jesus, Mary, Peter, and the saints. The belief in immortality of the soul and the burning place of torment is in Baal worship, and the belief of immortality in the soul and burning places of torment in Catholicism. The doctrine of purgatory, the belief of the dead visiting the living, feast held for in November, All Souls Day. That's Baal worship. So Halloween or All Hallows Eve or Day of the Dead, what is it? Dia de la Muerta or whatever you want to call it. Yes, I worked in a bakery warehouse and we made hot cross buns. Interesting. Tammuz. Tammuz. Okay. And that's a Catholic holiday because a lot of Spanish people are Catholic. A lot of them. They made a whole movie about it. Did they not? My grandson loves that. Coco, right? Um, the Festival of All Souls Day held November 2nd and All Saints Day held November 1st. That's Catholicism. And then in Bell worship, it's the belief of the dead visiting the living feast held for in November, All Souls Day. That is Bell worship. The burning of incense, and this is from Isaiah 1 and 13, Jeremiah 11 and 17, and Ezekiel 8 and 11. The burning of candles and incense in Catholicism. Chants and repetitious prayers. Matthew 6 and 6. The Rosemary and the Hail Mary. 206. 206. 207. Crazy? What I just tell y'all about this? These is chants. This is divination. This whole book. I told y'all. Incantations. The repetition. Think about it. If a person just keeps saying the same thing over, they say it's something wrong with their mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, no, thank you, thank you, thank you, no, thank you, thank you, thank you, no, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peter, 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 Robert, 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 Jessica, 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 Jessica. You know something is wrong. You hear me? Interesting. Let's keep going. 10 Hail Marys. We ain't done yet. Let's go. It said the symbol of the cross as symbol the symbol of the cross as symbol of the sun worship. So that's in Baal worship, the crucifix in Catholicism. And what did we say that those are? Where are my books? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Talismans. All right. It says amulets and idols to scare away evil spirits. The wearing of crucifixes and images displayed for protection, like Saint Peter, Saint such and such, is to keep you. The drug lords even wear Saint somebody because he's the saint of the drug dealers. And they wear that necklace because he's supposed to protect them. I went to Catholic school and I remember having to say prayers over and over, especially the rosary. Interesting. And they also wear get the certain candles of this candle of this person is gonna protect me. Interesting. It says amulets and idols to scare away evil spirits, and then the wearing of So that's Baal worship, is the amulets and the idols to scare away. And then in Catholicism, the wearing of crucifixes and images displayed for protection. The round disc wafer, IHS symbol of Isis, Horus, Seb, eaten as food for the soul. That's Baal worship. The wafer used in the Eucharist is round with IHS engraved on it in Catholicism. And I showed y'all that picture. This one. And it got IHS on it. Isis, Horus, and Seb. This is on their robes and everything. It be on the back of their robe right here. Sometimes it's on their lapel. Isis, Horus, and Seb. They tell you who they worship. Crazy, right? Moving on. Painting of the child and mother with the glory of the sun around their heads is Baal worship. See if we can find any of that in Vatican City. Do y'all see it? And this is all in the Vatican. All of these graven images are in the Vatican everywhere. You said that's crazy because I love the Renaissance. This is all in the Vatican, y'all. All of these graven images of people and paintings are in the Vatican. So they have every single thing that God said not to have, and the world is deceived and calls them holy. And it's graven, painted, and carved images everywhere. This whole city ain't nothing but statues and paintings. And all of their churches around the world ain't nothing but statues and paintings, graven images everywhere. On everything. They got all the stuff that used to be in Babylon. All the stuff that used to be in Egypt. All the stuff that used to be around, they have it. You hear me? You think it is Babylon. It is. It is. You said the birthday suits were always a red flag to you, especially when God be telling you to cover your nakedness, and it's everybody in there naked. Amen. Here we go. It said in Baal worship, infant baptism, sprinkling holy water. Infant baptism, sprinkling holy water. When they say you get baptized, you get submerged in water. So in Baal worship, you only sprinkled water on the head of the baby. What did they do with the Catholic Church when they baptize a kid? When did you ever see Jesus sprinkling some water on somebody's head? Interesting. So Baal worship, they sprinkled water on the baby. Catholicism, they sprinkle water on the baby. Ari. Here we go. It says necromancy in Baal worship. And what did I tell y'all? They always talk about the mysteries. Jewish mysticism. The mystery schools. You hear me? The mystery schools. Interesting. You hear me? Real interesting. The world has been deceived. I'm reading the Antichrist 666, y'all. What y'all think about that? Interesting. It says Pontife Maximus, name for the chief head of the pagan Babylon system of idolatry. The Pontifex Maximus, one of the first names for the Pope. So the Pontifex or Pontife Maximus, it was the name of the Babylonian leaders, and that's the name that the popes take. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Janus and Sybil, holders of the keys to heaven and hell. The Pope claims to have the keys of Peter. Interesting. The high priest kings carried on a throne to the temple of his God, and the Pope carried on a portable throne to the Basilica of St. Peter. The pagan high priest king believed to be the incarnate of the Son of God, and the Pope pretends to be Christ's vicar here on earth. Offerings to appease the gods, and in Catholicism is penance, indulgences, and salvation by works. That's why I told y'all, I said, listen, it's a whole bunch of people out here that pretend, but they don't really know. They really have no idea, and it's because they don't study enough to know. Crazy, right? People out here calling what's holy not holy, what was holy not holy, and what's not holy holy. And that's why I don't care what nobody else say, because the information that my dad has led me to, I'll be mind blown. And that's why you gotta know the spirit by the spirit, baby. In real life, because folks be faking. They really do. They really do. They be fake saved, fake Christians, fake everything, babe. For whatever reasons, they be doing it. But it's not led by God. Some people want people to follow them. Some people want to be recognized. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, in real life. That's why I said when I was learning, I wasn't learning to teach. I was not learning to teach. I was learning to understand for myself. And just so happened, as I learned, God started sending me people to teach. I didn't go out trying to get nobody to come to no Bible studies. Hell, I was scared to have them because I was like, ain't no way God is having me do no Bible studies. Not the way I live, not what, but he was. He did. As a matter of fact, he sent more and more people every time. You hear me? But to try to tell people, listen, that ain't what it is. That ain't how it works. It's very hard to try to get people to see that you've been living a lie for a long time. Or you don't even understand what you're doing. That's why when I said people paying all that money for prayer cloths and all this kind of stuff, those are amulets and charms and talismans. When do you ever see that God gave somebody a prayer cloth or told them to hold this and pray to it? God said, get down on your knees and pray to me, or stand up wherever you at. Folks be getting prayer rocks and prayer cloths and prayer this and prayer that. Where'd all that come from? And then you gotta buy it. It ain't free. I'm not. Why do I have to pay when the word is free? Tell me. Why are you? You just made. That's why I don't sell nothing. And what I mean by that is, like we did the journals, right? But that was not for my benefit. That went back into whatever it is. But a lot of times, when people are selling these things, it's for the profit of them, not the church. You said most likely the misunderstanding of what happened with Paul and thought that they could make a profit. Listen, that's why I be like, look, Circa, you should know I shouldn't. No, I'm not. This is not about money. I will not be selling no classes. I will not be selling no, not when it comes to this word. I'm not. Now, if I had my own company and I was doing something different, yes. But even when y'all was asking me to do the survival stuff, I said I really don't want to do it. I really don't. And I did it for a minute, and all that money wasn't coming to me. It was going to what we was doing, and then I just put the list up. This is too much. Okay. Even for that, I wasn't selling it like this is scripture, blah, 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 blah. I said these are the things that you're going to need to have. But you remember, I was like, I don't want to sell nothing. I don't want to. That's why TikTok don't be pushing my stuff because I don't got on card. That's why they don't want me holding nothing up here because I'm not selling anything. And they don't make money if I don't sell. Do you understand that? I told my coworker about the worship of the saints and she was offended. I know. I know. If you was not a citizen of Hispania, you had to pay to get into the cathedral. Are you serious? Yeah. Why do you think Jesus went over there kicking over door? He said, you made my house into a marketplace. My father's house, you done made the synagogue into a marketplace. You're not supposed to sell nothing in church. Everything in church is supposed to be free. Everything. Food, Bibles. If you are teaching the word correctly, the money is going to come. She said you can't go around telling people about their religion. It will cause enmity. That's all right, baby, because the word cuts through the marrow and the bone. Through the marrow and the bone. It is what it is. They did the pineal gland. Yeah. Yeah, the pine cone and all of that. No, I know all about it, Pumpkin. The den of thieves. Come on. Yep. This is the thing. This is why the Bible said even the very elect, excuse me, if he didn't come back, they was going to be deceived. But again, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Ain't that what he said? And we talk about that all the time. So now you understand why there's going to be people that say, oh, I gave to the poor. And he said you also was worshiping false gods too. You also was doing rituals. Don't y'all remember when we did the class? When I was like, why is Rite Aid not RIGHT? Because RITE means right or ritual. Ritual aid. Why is it not Rite Aid like RIGHT, like the right medicine? Ritual and religion are the same thing. Did you know? Religion is something you just do like daily, repetitively. What is a rite? A ritual. Do you hear me? That wordplay. The fact that ministers now ask you for money before they even start speaking is crazy. I was speaking to a client and was telling her about where the tithes and offerings should go for real in the church. She was in, says they are the ones going to heaven and they don't help others. Interesting. It has a custom here of smoking out your house with incense and camphor. Isn't that a ritual as well? Yes. Separating the wheat from the tares in real life. In real life. It's a real thing. Do you realize that when they ask for offering, before the word comes forth, they are asking people to pay for the word? You don't got to pay for it. They don't ask for offering before the choir come up, do they? They ask after the choir come up because they know that you're happy. They know that you're excited. So this is when they ask for the money. But it's before the word of God comes. See, back in the day, they didn't pass around no offering plate. Back in the day, there was a vessel at the beginning of the temple, at the door, like around the courtyard of the temple. And if you had an offering, you just left it there. You just left it. You left it when you came into the temple. Before whatever was going on, when you came into the temple, if you had an offering, you put it there. They didn't pass no plate around talking about give us your money. The offering was whatever you had to, and whatever you was offering, whether it was food, meat, grains, money, whatever it was, that was when you first came in. You was not supposed to, you're not supposed to do, you basically making people pay for the word. Because why they don't ask after the word? Why don't they hold offering after they've already fed the souls of the people? It's strategically placed after the music because they know music make people happy. It's emotional. You see what I'm saying? So they can sing a song and all of this, and now you're reaching in your pocket. I went to a mega church that had an ATM in it, and they asked for money at least 4 times. And that's why when people was on here trying to make me do certain stuff, I said, no, this ain't regular church. I know you're not used to that, but no. Yeah, most churches do that. It's offering is normally always in between the preaching and the music. I ain't went to no church where it ain't happened. I don't think I've ever been to a church where they asked for offering after the man is preached. They always do it in between the music and the preaching. That's strategic. Even if some of them don't even realize that's why they do it. It's strategic. Pastor gets to wiping his head with that towel after he see that bowl filling up. Sure do. He said, I know ministers that say they preach harder if they pay them more. I'm telling y'all. And they joke about it. Oh, baby, I know. See, I go to that church, honey. Pastors preach according now to how they get paid. If they say, okay, we only got $700 for you, they gonna give them a. But if they gonna preach hard for the money, the sin offerings. Come on. And now y'all see why I said, listen, if God put it on your heart to send something to this organization, so be it. If he don't, he already got another way to take care of it. But it's crazy because a lot of the pastors that be having to sit there and beg for money all the time, they preaching don't, it be garbage. It be garbage. Because if you was teaching and it moved the people, the prostitution of the gift. Come on. You wouldn't have to ask for no money. You would, if you was teaching what God is telling you to teach, you would not have to ask for money. Same recycled message as Sunday after Sunday. Listen, I already know. That's why I've had some people come to me and say, "Oh well, you take money." I said, "You can go through all of my classes, especially the first ones I did. I kept telling people, you don't have to send me nothing." I said, "These people made me get a cash app, and once they started sending the money, I started sending it out to the very people that was sending it in here. We was helping people that we didn't even know." Because at that time, I'm like, y'all, what they put your cash app up here, everybody bless them, this, that. And people was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We didn't even know how much they was getting. Go ahead and slide on them. Them fishnets, Pat. Listen. Listen. So we had to get our organization because people was taking advantage, but people was still getting help, and they still getting help now. No matter the amount, whether it's large or small. Do you hear me? People still getting help here, and we almost 3 years in. I didn't say, okay, for the first year I'm gonna do this. I didn't even start taking a salary until after the first year that I was here. February of 2023 is when I start taking a salary, and it is, I'll be having to stretch my coins. Just know that, because our donations are not the same every month, and we don't have as many people in our classes as we used to. Do you see what I'm saying? So whether it's a lot or a little that come in, nobody don't know. But every month we still got. And think about this. When the economy goes down, give and change a little bit. The economy is not what it was, but it has not been 1 month here. God is blessed that we haven't been able to just help somebody. Whether it be books or, we giving away books or whatever it is that we're doing. God has blessed our little bitty community on just what we do, because we don't get no grants or nothing like that. God is blessed that people feel not, I don't give nobody in because I don't even ask for no money, but they feel led to bless our community, but they also see where the money goes. Y'all been here 3 years. Y'all don't watch people come in and say, I got my this, I got my that, thank you. And some people never say nothing. But they've got assistance from us, and you don't have to. You don't got to tell nobody you got nothing from us. That ain't none of their business. But there are people that have gotten help with their lights, water, gas, car payments, everything. Now, we can't pay the whole thing, but if we can give you a couple of dollars on getting the bill down or whatever else, every single month since we've been here, we've been able to help somebody. Do you understand? That is a blessing. And we don't never ask for no money. Ain't no cash apps up here. I don't say I'm not going to start teaching and we ain't opening no books until whatever. And I'm not knocking nobody. But I just believe that if you teach what God put down in your heart, you're not going to have to worry. And I know this even before TikTok, because when I was teaching out of my house, the very same people that I was teaching that I didn't ask nothing for would be the same people that came back and blessed me. Man, you helped me with my life, blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to do something nice for you, or God put it on my heart for me to send you this money, or blah, 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 blah. At first I didn't even used to take it. And it was another minister that showed me, hey, you minister to their soul. You get to take that. That is God. That's God paying you. You didn't ask them for it. God put it on their heart to bless you. You can take that. Because I used to be like, no, I don't need. No, I'm just teaching. What God. No, 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 no. And I didn't realize I didn't understand. So when people saw I'm gonna tell you something. I told y'all the story about somebody telling me, why are people paying their tithes to you? I said, you don't know the scripture. Oh boy said, because I teach you, I could ask you for money. I just don't. I let God take care of me. And the people that I teach, I don't ask them for anything. They come back and bless me. This was before TikTok, before YouTube. Because I wouldn't even take it at first. People's like, God told me to give you my tithes. God told me to give you my tithes. God was like, no. No. But then God showed me in the word, yeah. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, When they gave me that money, I was about to take it and bless somebody else with it anyway. Right after that, somebody would come and say, I need $30 for gas, and I need this, and I need that. And it was going right back out. So God started me doing this in my home. Well, I'm still in my home, but not like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, one of my friends was in Egypt and she was going through some things. Well, somebody had just blessed me with like $300-$400. Me, way before this. And she needed money. Well, I was able to send it to her. You see what I'm saying? So the money came in. I got to take a very small portion of it. But a lot of the money that God sent me went right back out. The same way you do right now. Nothing has changed. My living situation has changed because I know y'all and this, that, and the other, but I'm still living in the same place. All of these different things. Now, granted, you all have blessed me with too many things to even count. But I'm not saying you got to buy me this, you got to buy me that, who gonna buy me this, who gonna buy me that. I ain't teaching, and Dean need a new such and such, and all of this old crazy stuff that you see in the church where people try to force people to take care of them. You hear what I'm saying? They try to force people to take care of them. Nowhere in the word did it say that. If God has called you to teach, some people he do have keep working. My brother's been a minister forever. He still work. He worked for like Boeing or one of them places, one of them aircraft folks. You see what I'm saying? Some pastors, like what's his name? The Geno Jenkins dude, he worked. But there are some people that God do take off work just for ministry. You see what I'm saying? So it's different. But also, the person 9 times out of 10 ain't asking nobody for no money. They just waiting on God to do what he gonna do. You hear me? And it's a lot of people, and I'm not knocking nobody. I'm not. I'm just saying it's a lot of stuff that be going on that ain't God. But because it has become church tradition, they do it. And if you oppose it, it's a problem. I don't know where he's from. I have no idea where he's from. You hear me? Traditions of men. Come on. Think about it. Most tradition, you can't find it in the Bible. Most of the church traditions, can you find them in the Bible anywhere? Oh, we don't do that. Like how they used to be like, women ain't supposed to wear red. Show me. We only wear white when God literally gave Joseph a coat of many colors. Now, you're not supposed to paint your face and dress like a harlot. But they try to make you uniform in clothing, do they not? Certain religions, like I was PAW, and we went to a church where they made the clothes and the skirts look, it's kind of almost like Mormonism. Same thing. You know a Mormon when you see one. You know an apostolic person most times when you see one. Because they wear the head, some of them wear the head coverings and the clothes and how they dress. You know them by their clothing. Am I wrong? You know the Amish because of how they dress. Right? And they say, oh, don't go out into the world and all of this. But now that the Amish are coming out, they're talking about all the abuse that's happening right on over there, is it not? That's covered up. They look holy. They look wholesome. But all of the same things that are happening with the people that don't look wholesome is happening over there. Just like with the Catholic Church. They preach against sin, baby, but they the ones throwing. Can I say something? Please do not take offense. This is just what I was thinking about earlier today. Y'all ready? Please, nobody. This is not attacking nobody's nothing. I'm just going to tell you the thought that came to my mind today. How are there so many gay little boys in church if they only always around church people? They preach against homosexuality. And if these boys are only always around the ministers and that's it, but y'all preach against homosexuality, he been a church baby his whole life. Well, what happened? Everybody know what they say about the tambourine player in church. You're not going to tell me. We all know what the tambourine player is. Yes or no? But if these boys went to all the church camps, if they went to, and I'm just saying, how is this a thing if these babies ain't never been around nobody but sanctified kids? They don't get to hang out with the worldly kids. Am I wrong? Church kids do not get to hang. The real, we don't, whatever. I know I was one. We could not hang out with nobody that drank, smoked. My mama was not sending us to our house, their house. None of that. We only got to hang out with other church kids. They didn't trust us to go to our family members' houses, but they trusted us to go to the ministers' houses. They know that they ministers of music be in the community. They know that most of this is a thing. And I'm not knocking nobody. But I want to understand how you can stand on a podium outside and yell and scream at the gay guy that's outside the church, but you don't say nothing to the choir director. Because they eyebrows be nailed, babe. Manicures be on point. You don't see that? He got a purse in church too. But you will go outside the church and see a boy with a wig on or whatever else and be talking about he an abomination. Well, what about the choir director? What about brother such and such that face is beat to the gods? Right there in your pulpit. And he got a wife. Eyebrows nailed, baby, suit beat together. I'm trying to figure out. And he trying his hardest not to switch in the pulpit. But you will go outside the church and he going to hell, he going to hell. That's an abomination. Well, what about it's the same thing as sitting in your pulpit. Just like the little girls can't go and be at nobody's house. And so they're getting into these, you don't let them be around boys, so they lick it on twats. But we gonna act like because she ain't been with a man, she's still a virgin. No, babe, she's not. They would get canceled, lose their checks, and lose certain big funding, and most of the musical guests, they wouldn't come. Okay. But am I wrong, Maury? They'll go out and knock doors and see somebody outside like they don't see it on the inside. They look past that. Am I wrong? So what? Because you're friends with them, that's not wrong. But if you see it outside of the church, it's wrong? If they only been around church people their whole life, and y'all say it's wrong, where this come from? Girls or boys, it don't matter. If y'all say, if the church say that it's wrong and they preach against it, how do you look at it and say nothing and then go outside and point fingers at those folks? They say they are a work in progress. Depends on the setting, teaching, and cultures. Interesting. You said somebody been on the outside bringing it to the inside. No, they been on the inside. They just always was on the inside. These boys was brought up in church. These girls was brought up in church. They ain't been out in those streets. The American Western churches usually goes on two extremes. Listen. You said, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of the light, either bashing or dismissing it. Come on. I just be wondering. And that was just something that came to my mind because I grew up a church kid. If that family was not professing to have the Holy Ghost, we couldn't even go over and spend a night at our auntie's house because she drank, smoked, and played cards. But we could go over to a sister or brother house, and their son is trying to creep in my room when they mama go and daddy go upstairs. And I'm like 11, 12. He trying to kiss me in my mouth. And he's like 16. Playing dirty games. I would have been better at my cousin's house because my auntie ain't going for none of that. Even if she drunk. She ain't going for none of it. You heard me? I'm just saying. That's why when people come over here trying to point out certain stuff, don't point it out if you can't point it out in your service. Well, I was one of the kids that you're referring to, and if no one says anything, nothing is done. Come on, Mari. Me too. Listen. You said church is sin, world is sin, all the same people. People are a trip. Listen, this is what I'm telling you. My grandma said her mama wouldn't let her go to church unless her hair was pressed. Yeah. Yep. Did I ever notice church kids are the wildest? What are you trying to say, Silver Souls? Did you just hear me say I was a church kid? You don't got to put my business out there like that. I just said that. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Not all church kids. Puh. 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 Baby, please. Mm-mm. And sons. It ain't just, it's preachers' kids, period. Church kids is to be the work. Do you realize they the sneakiest kids? Because they have to do everything without getting caught. They be sneaky. The church kids is the one that taught me the crazy stuff. But also at the same time, most didn't even have strong enough spirit to pick up the things that needed to be dealt with in the first place. And then also at the same time, a good portion of them didn't have any power or authority with God because of their own lifestyles and lack of sanctification as well as discipline. I'm trying to tell you. But this is why I tell you, whatever spirit the pastor got, if you ever want to know what's running through the church, you want to know what's in a pastor, look at what he attracts. Am I wrong? If the pastor's a whoremonger, baby, it'll be a lot of infidelity in that church. Pastor money hungry, everybody got a business, everybody selling stuff, everybody, like in real life. You see it. If you ever want to know what's in that pastor, All you got to do is look at his church. You will know exactly what's going on. Because familiar spirits go where they feel comfortable. Do they not? You, people say, ooh, I feel the spirit in there. Which one? What spirit? You didn't say the Holy Spirit. You said, I feel the spirit. Which one? Which one? PKs are worse. Are the worst. Two of my baby daddies are PKs. We not gonna keep saying that. So you just gonna keep talking crazy? I see. I'll be right back. Uh, uh, I feel a little offended. PK children are the worst. Y'all love me, don't you? I'm a PK. And I used to be hell on wheels too. Sure did. This nigga used to be hell on wheels. You hear me? Do not. Funny. I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm just playing with y'all. You know why? I feel like people think that church kids are the worst because everybody eyes be on church kids. And people feel like because your parents chose God that you chose them too. And that's unfair because what my parents do don't have nothing to do with me. Oh, your mama a pastor, your daddy a pastor. You supposed to do good. They chose God. I ain't did that yet. I gotta go to church because they make me go. But I haven't given my life to Christ, so I don't have to live the way that they live because they chose Christ. I didn't choose Christ. You see what I'm saying? It's just like if you was born, you in the spotlight, everybody waiting for you to mess up. It ain't the church kids be doing nothing no different than nobody else's kids, but everybody assumes that because your parents are saved that you chose that for yourself. That's just like if your parents is Satanists and they baptize you into the church of Satan when you're born. You only taught Satanism. You didn't get to choose that. It was chosen for you. And that's why I be trying to tell people, quit trying to force Jesus down your kids' throats. Just live it. You ain't got to quote scriptures to them all the time and all of this old stuff. You can teach them the word by your actions. You can teach people the love of God without saying God is love. Can you not? You don't have to walk around talking about God is love, God is love. Show that. You said, oh, Circa, honey, you are in the hot box this morning. Uh-oh. Truth, because I chose God outside of them when I myself was doing being a big fool. I'm trying to tell you. That's why people be like, your mama's this. My mama's walk with Christ don't got nothing to do with my life. And I don't got to go around all the time talking about I'm saved, I'm saved, I'm saved. People should see it in my actions. If you could never tell a person you were a Christian or you believed in God, how would you show them? I understand from that dealing with my baby daddy because he know the word, just don't apply it because it was probably forced down his throat. And it's real hard when you see people that's preaching to people, but they don't act like that at home. You said, I don't understand when they say that Christians have to suffer because we do. What you mean? Nigga be gonna bop a nigga in the head and I can't. I'm a prisoner. My hands is bound. He said, don't hit her in her eye because she talking crazy to you. You ain't never want to get nobody and you couldn't get to them. That's suffering. You ain't never want to get nobody back because they did something to you, baby, and you can't do nothing about it, baby. That is a horrible feeling, and you want to rip somebody to shreds and you can't. God say no. Or you got to be nice to a person that you... Listen, this is not telling my business. My mama done tried to unalive me more times than I can count, probably. But really want to. Come on. My mama has taken her hands and put them around my neck as an adult and tried to kill me. And then I had to turn around and pray on my 32nd birthday. 27th or 28th birthday that she didn't kill herself. On my 27th, 28th birthday, Grandma almost spoke. But Dad said, no, I'm trying to tell you. In real life, Maury. You ever had to pray for somebody to live that tried to take? I didn't have to do it not just for my mama. The nigga that tried to kill me, right after that, I had to pray. Like, it's a real thing. When God asks you to pray for somebody that didn't want you to breathe no more, to bring them back to life or to keep them, that's crazy. Person that didn't try to ruin your life and you got to pray for them, that's suffering. Hell. You got to be nice to people that you know for a fact will stab you in the back the second they get the chance. And God say, treat them good. Treat them good? You just told me that this nigga want to take my life and that they are actively trying to dismantle everything that I have built. And I got to be nice? Oh, yeah, that's suffering, huh? Sure is. Sure is. When I want to bust you in your head and God say, walk away, walk away. He said, I'll protect you. You don't got to worry about your back. I got your back. Just walk away. God said, how are you doing? I'm going to try and lay hands on my people and then lay hands on them. I'm trying to tell you, it will. But he did, but that did happen. I'm sure David prayed for people. He kept the demons off of Saul and then took a... Okay, look now. God had him come and pray, play the harp to keep Saul alive and then told him to turn around and go kill people. It's a double-edged sword. I can lay hands on you or I can lay hands on you. Either or. However you like it. I can anoint you. Or I can snub you. Which one you want? Dubbed or snubbed. I told you, dubbed or snubbed. Figure it out. Both of them. You hear me? You can be dubbed or you can be snubbed. Which one do you want? I'm going to lay hands or I'm going to lay hands. One of the two. Both way I'm laying hands. You hear me? I can put some oil on your face or you could be leaking. Which one do you want? Auntie. You hear me? Listen. But you said that's the one. I'm just saying. This can go. Okay. First Samuel 15. I'm about to show y'all something. First Samuel 15, the new we in the New King James Version. So NKJV. We ain't even going to ERV. We gonna go to the New King James Version. I need you to go to First Samuel 15, the New King James Version. And then well, we just gonna skip around because we gonna read here and then read there. Let me know when you over there. Is y'all over there? You got it? We in the New King James Version. Okay, here we go. Samuel also said to Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people, over Israel. I'm going to read that again. Samuel, the prophet, also said to Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people and over Israel. Okay? Now therefore heed the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish Amalek for what he did to Israel, how he ambushed him on the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. God said don't leave nothing living. I don't care if a woman got her baby in her arms. Kill her and the baby. Don't even leave they donkeys living. Ox, slave, everything. Now we just read earlier that David, come on, that David unalived 18,000, 19,000 people and cut the hamstrings of the horses so they couldn't run back to where the other people was. I don't know why folks be playing God like he ain't, okay? I don't know where y'all get this fluffy God from, but moving on. So we going to go all the way down here. Okay, wait. It says, so Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 men of Judah. So it was 210,000 soldiers that was about to pull up. 210,000 niggas. Do you understand what that sound like coming? That's like a whole 2 or 3 stadiums of people, maybe 4. Because they said some stadiums can hold up to 100,000. So we'll say it's a stadium that can hold up to 100,000, the largest stadiums. 2 of those full, but on horses. Think about how much noise 50 horses make running. Could you imagine what the dust and dirt look like? And you got 210,000 soldiers running and riding towards you? Do you understand the sound of that? It probably felt like an earthquake coming down. No. $210,000. You know they yelling when they coming. Think about, have you ever been in a fully packed stadium? When they start, You said the cacophony of it is really loud. Okay. Imagine you said a 10 on the Richter scale. Interesting. You just went and looked it up? Or you just saying that's probably what it'll feel like? Just a whole stadium of people yelling shakes everything. Okay. Okay. And most stadiums have, we looked it up, between 20 to 50,000. Some have 100,000. So 210,000 people all coming like this. It's lines and lines and lines of horses and chariots and whatever. Oh my God. You can actually feel the vibrations of it 2 to 3 miles away. The horses is coming. So look at this. We just did the numbers of the amount of soldiers that are going to be in Armageddon, in the Valley of Armageddon or Megiddo. It's going to be 200 million soldiers. The red coats are coming. Come on. Think about that. If you can hear 20,000 people coming, what do you think the ground is going to do when there's 200 million people in the Valley of Megiddo? And it ain't horses. It's going to be tanks and Humvees and helicopters and fighter jets. What is that going to look like? $200 million. Moving on. Whew. Can y'all go down to verse 10, please, real quick? Can y'all go down to verse 10? So it says, now the word of the Lord came to Samuel, saying, I greatly regret that I have set up Saul as king, for he has turned back from following me and has not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried out to the Lord all night. Now listen. Samuel is the one that anointed Saul king, right? Right? How you think that make that prophet feel that he got to go and now go back on his word? Not necessarily go back on it, but he anointed the now I got to go back and say God and rejected him. You don't think people start thinking that Samuel might, well, he the one said God chose him. He anointed him. He didn't know he was going to mess up. God showed him everything else. He didn't show him that. Samuel, I thought you said God chose Saul. He told you to anoint him. Well, then how God reject him then if he chose him? Like, this nigga can't mess up. His relationship with God don't got nothing to do with what God told me to do. If his heart leave God, That don't got nothing to do with me. I did what God told me to do. God told me this is the king, the anointed. I'm about to anoint this nigga. Now God then came back and told me his heart then left. So now I got to do what I got to do. That don't got nothing to do with me. That is Saul and God, not me, Saul and God. I don't got nothing to do with how Saul's heart left God. I did what God told me to do. God told me that's who I picked. Go touch him and anoint him in front of everybody. I did my job. I've been over here minding my business. I don't know what Saul been on. But now God then came and told me the nigga ain't who he said he is no more, and I'm done with him. So now I got to go handle some business. And you know people was talking crazy. Well, maybe he really don't got the anointing he say he got. Maybe he ain't really who he... I mean, it ain't no different from now. It's the same thing. Okay? Just like people to say something like, yeah, and they do it all the time. Listen. All right. So it grieved the prophet. He like, oh, man. I told y'all we be sad for stuff that don't even have nothing to do with us. But we be sad. Because we know what's about to happen. We know it ain't nothing good coming after this. Prophets are always crying, is they not? Prophets always crying. They are always crying. They is always sobbing. I told you I cry pretty much every day. Like, God. Oh. Moving on. So when Samuel rose early in the morning to meet Saul, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul went to Carmel, and indeed he set up a monument for himself. And he has gone on around, passed by, and gone down by Gilgal. Then Samuel went to Saul, and Saul said to him, blessed are you of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. He said, ooh, blessed prophet, I did exactly what God told me to do. When the prophets pull out of it, it's either good or of a blessing, or they're in trouble coming your way. I'm trying to tell you. And guess what Saul tried to do? You see what Saul said? Oh, I tell you what, God, praise the Lord, brother. I did exactly what you told me to do. Lies. You did it. You have did it. Oh my God, you just answered the question for over 10 years. Uh-oh, here we go. Well, I'm happy I could be of service. But Samuel says, what then is that bleating of the sheep I hear in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? He said, nigga, you a liar. Well, why I hear sheep? Where you get them sheep from? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know what? You gave me that word, and I did exactly... God, honey, I did exactly what God told me to do with it. Praise the Lord, prophet. Praise the Lord, bishop. Samuel said, nigga, when is that sheep? What is that sheep? Y'all got some sheep in here? You hear that? When you get sheep? Samuel said, Samuel said, go ahead. Well, cause see what happened was, what happened? They had brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice to the Lord your God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. What did God say? What did God say? What was the commandment? What did God say to do? In the beginning, what did he say? He said, don't leave nothing living. Not the sheep, the babies, the cows, the dogs, the birds, the nothing. Kill everything. Don't bring nothing back. Nothing. He said, destroy everything. He said, even the babies in the mama's arms, don't have no sympathy on them either. Could you imagine? And then the prophet said, wait a minute, where them sheep come from? He said, oh, well, you know what? The people. He didn't say I. Now you the king. You the king. Oh, well, the people brought it back. But what did God tell you? You want to lead the people, but you let the people make you go against what God say. When God is the one that put you over the people. So you listening to people more than you listening to God now. And you say, oh, the people brought the stuff back. I didn't do it. I did what God told me to do. It was the people that brought it back. The people went with you because God told them to go with you. The order came to you, the head. But you tried to shoo off that you did. Literally, he lied and said, I did what I was supposed to do. But you the ruler over these people, and you the king. As soon as you saw them trying to ride back with the sheep or the cows, why you didn't do something? Why you didn't tell them to slay them right then? Why you didn't cut it off? And then you tried to get in my face and act like you really, and that's not what it is. That ain't what it is. So you was disobedient to God and you just lied to the prophet's face. You lied to the Holy Ghost. No? God is the one that sent him over there. The prophet already know that God has rejected him, and he know why. That's why the prophet went looking for him. He could have told the truth right when he seen him. He didn't. He tried to butter him up. Oh, man of God, how you doing today? You sharp. Look at you. What you doing? I know Saul's heart was beating because you know when the prophet about to come tell you. So if you got a real one, baby, your heart, you be like, oh, God, what is they about to say? And then you tried to blame it on the people. And Dad sent that good young 4-page letter of rejection in my that part. He already knew. So who you lying to when God told him last night? He been up praying for you all night. He probably was God, give him another chance. God, just give him another chance. God, please. Why was he crying? He was probably crying out for the soul. God, don't reject him. Give him another chance, God. Please, just, oh, God, please, just, can you just, you hear me? In real life, he already knew the answer. When God sent the prophet looking for him, he already knew the answer. He already knew. That's why he came looking for you. Remember I told you God had me talking to people and I already know, but I have to act like I don't know? Who's ever heard me say that? Y'all ever heard me say that? God already being spoken in my ear what's going on with the person, but when I start asking them questions, I have to act like I don't know already. Even though he already told me. You hear me? That's why he got me talking to you. I'll be like, I wish I could just tell him I already know. But you can't. You gotta. Now, back in the young CERCA used to be like, God told. I learned my lesson with that. Mm-hmm. So my version of that now is to hand him a page. Period. Because back in the day, I used to be like, God told me 7, and they'll be like, and they'll shut down. They'll shut down because most of these people I really don't know them that well, and even some of the ones that I do, they don't want nobody to know that. How do you know that? And it was just me and the person or whatever. So they would instantly get an attitude when, okay, well, that ain't productive. So I had to figure out another way. So now I just act like I don't know, even though he already being told me. I just be like, okay. And I'm not lying. I just have to wait for you to bring it up or whatever. I have to ask a series of questions, and then it's a whole process. They get overwhelmed with the truth. Yep. Especially when you don't think people see you. That's the crazy thing. Moving on. So Saul said, they did that. And then Samuel said to Saul, be quiet. Shut up. My kids say that I always be quiet. Be quiet. That is one of my things. And can I tell y'all something? I wish I'm gonna call my baby. Hold on. She might be at work. Let me see. We about to prove and see if she can answer because she worked third shift. Let's see. Come on. I'm about to show y'all something. And this, if she answered, it's about to be crazy. My phone is coming back on. Of course, they're always dead, y'all. None of my phones be charged. I gotta quit doing this. If an emergency happens, I'm screwed. Because none of my devices be on charge. I was looking for this one, went in there. Somebody could have called me in an emergency. I wouldn't even know. I don't be getting text or nothing because my stuff be dead. She at work, so I don't know. She'll call me back. She'll call back because she work nights, so she might be doing something. Dang, girl, why you won't answer right now? Child. Hold on, y'all, because I want to show y'all something. I'm about to show you something. If she can answer. I wonder if y'all nephew up. I'll ask him. Let me see. He might be asleep too. We gonna see. I want to see something. What time is it there? It's probably 11 o'clock. He might be asleep. You sleep? Are you busy? You at work this late? Okay. Well, I'm live. Can you answer a question for me? So, I'm live too. If mom is telling you to be quiet and I keep saying be quiet and I'm inching closer towards you, what's getting ready to happen? She's gonna smack me in the mouth. Or choke you or something, right? When y'all was little, something was getting ready to go on. If I keep easing close, you see me doing with your sister. Did I keep telling her to be quiet? Because I was trying to tell her something? Yeah. Did you have to snatch me off of her? Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. I just wanted to see. Sure. You said for sure. You said 100%. We had a time or two when I told you to be quiet back in 2015 or something. What was that, 2012? Man, yeah. 2008, 2011, 9, 11, something. Okay. All right. I just wanted to thank you, son. I love you. You're welcome. I love you too. Okay, bye. So I think if a prophet tell you to be quiet and they start inching towards you, you might want to just be quiet. Because I think the other side of the prophet is about to come out when they say, hey, be quiet. And they get that little twitch in their eye a little bit. Because you got to understand, God didn't have me all up all night praying because I know what's going on. And you about to sit here and play in my face? You do realize the only reason I'm over here is because God sent me, right? Be quiet. Stop, because I'm telling you, Circa, when I start telling you to be quiet and inching closer to you, it's because I'm about to make you be quiet. You hear me? You're not about to keep playing in my face. I don't even want to be over here telling you nothing. I could be doing something else, studying, and God done made me get up and leave my house, come all the way over here to tell you, and then you gonna play in my face. I bet you we don't. I bet you we don't. I bet you we don't. I bet you we not gonna do that. He said, be quiet. You can try to give me all the excuses you want. God told me last night. You just did it today. Do you realize that before Saul could do it, God told the prophet that he had rejected him? He hadn't even done it yet. He was going to get up the next morning and go do it. So all night, and the prophet's feeling is strongly connected to what they are going to release. Listen here, I'm trying to tell you, and it's about to be that thunder, nephew. But do you get it? He hadn't even done it yet. But God knew in his heart he was going to allow his people to disobey him. So he had the prophet praying the night before. Maybe that Saul made the right decision. Do you hear me? I wouldn't be surprised if Samuel was up all night praying for Samuel to make the right decision. Then you didn't. God make me leave my house, come where you at. I got to go all over the city looking for you. Then you try to greet me with this butter me up type mentality, but you don't know I already know why I'm here. And then going to try to play in my face. Here we go. He said, be quiet. And I will tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Before you could disobey God, he told me you was. He said, shut up trying to play in my face. Don't be quiet. Stop. God, do you want to know what God told me last night? I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan felt the same way when he had to address David. Of course. Of course. Why is you playing in my face? God had me up. I'm over here because he told me to come over here. We gonna cut it to the. I'm not about to keep doing this with you. I'm not even about to sit up and let you lie. I don't want to hear it. You don't know what God told me last night? You just did this today. God told me last night what you was gonna do, and you sitting here trying to play in my face. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. And that's why I be like, I just don't talk to people because I can't. You're not going to keep doing that to me. Especially when I know God don't lie to me. Yeah, I'm not. And that's why the fire shoot up from the bottom of my... Moving on. And he said, speak on then. Say what you're going to say. So Samuel said, when you were little in your own eyes, were you not the head of the tribes of Israel? And did not the Lord anoint you king over Israel? Now the Lord sent you on a mission and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they are consumed. Why then did you not obey the voice of the Lord? Why did you swoop down on the spoil and do evil in the sight of God? In the sight of God. Remember I told y'all, it's a lot of people that be chosen to lead, but they don't have the heart. They don't have the heart to do what God asked them to do. They want to look like it. But when it come down to that 10 toes down YN energy, they don't have it. They don't have it. And that's why I be like, I don't know why people be acting like prophets is soft. Do you realize that God takes them to the scariest places, to the biggest people, to the most authoritative people? And they got to stand 10 toes down and not care, knowing they can lose their life. And y'all be... Baby, moving on. Okay. Here we go. It says, and Saul said to Samuel, but I have obeyed the voice of the Lord and gone on a mission on which the Lord has sent me, and brought back Agag, king of Amalek, and I have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the plunder, sheep and oxen, the best things of which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice to the Lord your God in Gilgal. So Samuel said, "Has the Lord as great delight in burnt and surf? Has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice." Okay, we skipping this because I wanted to get to this part right here. Um, Here we go. Go down to 30 for me real quick, y'all. Please. Skip down to 30. But God said, obedience is better than sacrifice. He don't want your rams, the ones you told him to kill. You would have been sacrificing them right there on the spot if he would have did what he said. They were still going to be sacrificed. You brought them back because you wanted them. You brought that back because it benefits you. Hi. I did. Your brother answered, though. I was going to say, if mom start doing like this and getting close to you and I'm telling you to be quiet, what's about to happen? Somebody lips. And put your hands on somebody. Back up. You said, yourself. You said brace yourself? Brace yourself. Impact, impact, impact. Now, let me ask you one more question. Has there ever been a time that I've told you I'm only coming to talk to you because God told me, and then you start trying to act like I was wrong, but I was right, and I was like, be quiet? I don't recall. Understand. A few times, maybe once or twice. You know. Lies. Bye. I love you. You heard what she said? If I tell you to be quiet, baby, as long as I'm telling you to shut up, you cool. Be quiet, baby. It's about to be some problems. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. That was my 22-year-old. You heard what she said. Impact. Somebody's lips about to get toe off. Your lip twist them, baby, and take you down with them. I said, shut up. Don't say nothing else. Be quiet, because I know you lying. I know you lying. And I'm about to, don't play with me. That's why I don't deal with people. Listen, my ex-husband, that nigga, Lord forgive me. He kept lying to me, baby, and talking crazy. And I said, be quiet. Stop. Just stop. When I tore down the door, I was asking him to quit talking to me. I kept saying, be quiet. Quit talking to me. Leave me alone. Baby, before I knew it, that coffee was in his face. I said, you better be happy it ain't hot. Stop talking to me. I tore down the door. He wouldn't leave me alone. I locked myself in the bathroom so I didn't go to jail. Locked myself in the bathroom. He on the outside of the door. Baby, I tried to, listen, I forgot I was trying to get out the door. And couldn't get out fast enough, baby. Yeah. Bah! Bah! And it was done. It was a wrap. You hear me? My kids ran downstairs like, the door was in half on the dryer across the hallway, bent up. You hear me? Leave me alone and quit talking to me. I had to put CERCA in the corner. I'm in the corner now. I'm in the corner right now. This is why I don't listen. I stay by myself because people play too many games and I'll be in jail. I don't play that. Like, I don't. The games women, like girls play, that whole messy mess. I grew up in a house with brothers. All brothers. And so for me, it's best for me to stay away from people. It's best for me to just stay by myself. Because some people don't trust themselves. And some people ain't about to play them little whatever games with you. You want to throw slick comments and all that, baby. As you can see, I call them out. And this didn't just start on TikTok. I do this in person as well. Are you trying to be funny? What do you mean? You heard exactly what I said. I caught what you said. What you talking about? And now this person upset. Well, what you gonna do? Because you didn't think I was gonna catch what you was throwing out. I caught it. Oh, I didn't mean it like that, but you did. I don't play them games. None. Do you hear me? That's why I'm fool with folks. I stay to myself because I'm not about to do none of that with you. You better go back over there with your fake friends. The ones that let you talk crazy on the slide and say little stuff, baby, because I don't need no flunkies. I ain't running in behind nobody, and I don't need nobody on my team. I walk by myself and always have. So you need your little flunkies to hold you back. I'm right here. I ain't went nowhere. I ain't ran nowhere. I'm right here. Tuh. And that's why I stay by myself. But if you think of moving on, okay, here we go. Oh, that's why I like the Bible, baby. It is a real thing. Here we go. It says, we at 30. He said, then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, please, before the elders of my people and before Israel, and return with me, that I may worship the Lord of your God. So Samuel turned back after Saul, and Saul worshiped the Lord. He said, don't embarrass me. Don't let them know I messed up. It says, then Samuel said, bring Agag, king of Amalekites, here to me. Samuel, the prophet. So Agag came to him cautiously. Why is you not scared of the king, but you scared of the prophet? Moving on. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. He said, surely you don't want to kill me. I mean, why would you want to kill? I mean, it's over. All the people dead. Let's just leave it. But Samuel said, as your sword has made women childless, so shall your mother be childless among women. And Samuel hacked Agag into pieces before the Lord in Gilgal. So what you think Saul was thinking? The prophet did what the king was supposed to do. That's why I be like, why do people be trying to act like the people that God used won't work you? They will. Especially if God tell them to. They will unalive you. They can love on you and anoint you and unalive you in this. I said, you so crazy. Don't think I'll hurt you. If God tell me to, I will. I will. And that's why I said, people choose leaders on what looks good, not if they gonna be 10 toes down. They look like a good leader. They talk like a good leader. They sound like a church person. You heard me? But when it's time to lay the law down, the guy needs them to lay down. They're not gonna do that. So, a prophet can touch you, and a prophet can touch you. You hear me? They can lay hands on you, or they can lay hands on you. Which one you want? You want to be dubbed, or you want to be snubbed? Plain and simple. Dubbed or snubbed. You hear me? You want to be dubbed, or you want to be snubbed? Let's figure it out. Which one is it, babe? And the prophet can do both. Whenever you get done, a person that God is using can do both. Don't get it. God anointed. He anointed David to rule, and he also anointed David to unalive. I mean, are y'all getting it? Y'all don't see it? I see it though. Hope y'all see it. Okay. Interesting. I be hearing that, and it's somebody on a scooter. Yeah, they have permission to handle business. Okay, think about this. I'm gonna run to the restroom, and I think I need to make me some new coffee, but I might get off of here. Go look up 3 or 4 instances where God sent a prophet into a dangerous situation. Hands are hands. Do me a favor. Go look up 3 or 4 situations. Just Google quick scriptures where God sent prophets into dangerous situations. Just real quick. And then we're gonna talk about. Let me run to the restroom. I need water too. I'm not gonna drink no more coffee because I don't want to be sleep all weird hours. Even though it's late. Sorry, y'all. Ooh. Moses, Isaiah, and Jeremiah. Okay. So, do you think God can send jellyback Christians or jellyback leaders into situations where he got to go tell the whole city God is getting ready to destroy the city and everybody in there is giants? Or to go up against Pharaoh who had all these soldiers and it's just him? Moses versus Pharaoh, Daniel versus the fire pit, Elijah versus 100 prophets, Elijah versus Jezebel, Jonah. Come on. You think he could have used jellyback people that was going to do stuff like what Saul did to go into those kind of situations? The prophets was always crying, but what they used to tell me is you need to watch out for the people that's always crying because they will kill you. Quiet people too. Not that the loud folks won't do something, but the ones you really need to watch is the ones that start to cry when they get angry and the quiet folks. Am I wrong? Ain't that what they say? Quiet folks and a nigga to get the crime, baby. Because he want to get you so bad. Listen, you said, or the short ministers. Hilarious. That part. That part. You hear me? Yeah, they be a little feisty too, don't they? I'm just saying. Do you understand though? People have made up this thing in their mind that because you follow God that you won't handle your business. I don't know where they get that from. And when it says thou shalt not kill, that is an innocent person. But if God tells you to do something, he knows why he's telling you to do it. You're not supposed to shed innocent blood. The Amalekites wasn't innocent. That part. That part, Lauren. God, did he not say don't shed innocent blood? God tell you to turn the other cheek when he want to do something. Most of them was. God, when God tell you to turn the other cheek, it's because he what he about to do, whatever you was gonna do ain't about to hit him like he hit him. That's why he tell you to do that. But there are times when God tell you to stand and fight too. Or go handle your business. His business, technically. He said, be angry and sin not right. But you got, okay, listen though. You cannot shed innocent blood. That is what that thou shalt not kill is about, because he turned right around and told his people to go shed blood, but it wasn't innocent. Do you understand? The people that God told his people to go unalive were not innocent. They were murdering babies, killing women. You just heard what he said about King Agag. He said the same way you unalived women with babies in their hand, your folks is about to be doing the same way. He said don't shed innocent blood. Innocent. They were not innocent people. And evil ain't going to slow down. It grows faster, does it not? And they influence other people to be evil, do they not? Most of the people that God was telling them to go unalive, they were horrible. I said that because people have taken that scripture out of context. Oh, I know. I know. They weren't innocent. So the prophet had to take care of business, because most people are going to follow their leader. Follow the leader. So if your leader is horrible, you're going to be horrible. If your leader is cutthroat, you're going to be cutthroat. If your leader is a thief, you're going to be a thief. And if all of these things go against what God is saying, and he wants that seed blotted out, he going to do that. And seeing as how he uses men to accomplish his deeds, then there's that. The same way God will use you to show the love of God, he has used men to show the wrath of God, has he not? He didn't always use angels. We just seen right there. Samuel was a prophet, a man of God, the mouthpiece of God, but he also became the wrath of God as well, did he not? David was a man after God's own heart, and this nigga was slaying niggas left and right. He accomplishes his thing through folks. Kindness and everything. Right. Who did God use to chastise Israel? Cyrus, the Lord's battle axe, he personally raised up. Come on now. Come on. He would put it in the heart of the Assyrians, the Egyptians, to go attack Israel when Israel wasn't listening. He didn't always send angels. He would put it in the heart of whatever king to come and take them into slavery, since they wanted to be slaves to sin. He said, okay, well, I'm going to make you a slave all the way around. So then he would have to put it in the heart of whoever it was to come and attack Israel. So he used the good and the bad people to accomplish his goal. Whether it was running Israel back to him, or Israel conquering them to show God's power. Either way, it was his power both ways. He did it. He hardened Pharaoh's heart. He did that. He knew exactly what to do to make Pharaoh's heart harder so that he could show his glory. It says God hardened Pharaoh's heart. It didn't say the devil. Didn't it? It said God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Did it? Does it not? Did it say Lucifer hardened Pharaoh's heart? It didn't say the devil. It said God hardened his heart. You see, hey, mama, you see what I'm saying? So I think those little bitty details, like when people are reading the story, they kind of gloss over that. Y'all see it? Why would God harden his heart? We know why. But does that make sense to you when God tells you not to have a hardened heart? Huh? That's where sovereignty comes in. Then that's what it means to be sovereign. That He can do whatever He wants to, and it don't matter how it look to you. That's an example of God's sovereignty. Samuel, unalive Agag, is an example of God's sovereignty. He can use His vessels however He sees fit. He can use them to anoint you, and He can use them to hack you up. It's whatever He want to do, because we are His creation. Just like you can build a piece of furniture, you can use it for a table. Hey, you can use it for a seat. You can use it for a bed. You can use it for what you want to use it for because you made it, and it don't only have to have one purpose. Your couch is for sitting, and people sleep there, and there's all kind of other stuff that goes on couches. It's used for multiple purposes, right? Some people, like CERCA, use their couch for storage. Mine got all kind of stuff on them because I don't have any space anywhere else to put them, so they have to go on the couch. I got boxes on the back of the couch. I got papers and all kind of stuff on one couch. The other one just got a pillow and a coat on it. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You said, "CERCA, you talking about my hobby." I'm just saying. This is the thing. I think that people always try to put God in a box. They also try to put the stories, like they've only been preached a certain way. But when they've only been preached a certain way, sometimes you skip over what's really there. Like when I ask y'all, please don't read the forward in y'all books, or like when we are reading in the lost books, and I said, don't read that forward because that's telling you what to see. Just go ahead and read the scripture, and you might see something that you wouldn't have normally saw. Right? Y'all remember me asking y'all to do that? Don't read the forward or the introduction. Just go straight in. So whatever, because it tells you Job cries, blah blah blah. So that's all you're looking for. But if you don't read what they say, other words pop up off the page and you see something you didn't see before. Good job. You hear me? I ain't saying you can't, but what I used to tell people when I first started studying with them, don't read that. Just go in and read it, and then go back and see if God showed you something other than what was up there at the top of the page or at the top of the paragraph or whatever. top of the chapter, because if you read it, then you automatically assume that that's what it's saying and you don't look for nothing else. Most times. You'll only see what it says it's about and not what else is in there. You know? I'm about to go, y'all. I'm about to go to sleep. Ooh. I think I ate too much salt in the last couple of days because this headache is crazy. Been having issues with my 2 oldest that moved in with the 5 upgrade kids. It be happening. Just anoint the house and ask God to tell you what to do. I'm going to watch the rewatch. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Yep, it's 3 hours long, girl. You gonna be up all night. Listen, yeah, I'm about to go get in the bed. My head is killing me. Glenda, go watch the rewatch, girl. You said you've been having some issues, so come on in and watch the rewatch because it's actually talking about that folks chaos and not doing what they supposed to and all of that. It'll fit right on in. It's gonna be right where it needs to be. Yeah, you said at least 10 times. Come on. So I love y'all. I'm about to go get in the bed because I got a headache just right here. Yes, you're welcome. See y'all later. I love y'all. Ooh, I'm about to go get in my bed. I don't know what kind of class we're gonna have tomorrow. Probably afternoon because my eyes been